Who's ready to create a $47 digital product and then scale it? If that's you, then you're at the right place at the right time, because I'm not about to tell you any theory or what I think that works. I'm about to tell you what I know that works, and it's facts. And how do I know that it's facts? Because I've made over 7 figures online in my business with this exact step-by-step blueprint that I'm about to share with you on this video. So let's get to it. Look, what I'm about to break down, it works if you work it. And it's only going to take me about 5 minutes to break this down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you'll probably just stay focused on the wrong stuff. And since you're focused on the wrong stuff, most likely you'll be selling the wrong things. And if you're selling the wrong things, then you ain't going to make no money. So if you don't want to make any money online in your business, feel free to click off this video and watch something about the new passive income ways or algorithm hacks or whatever stuff that doesn't work. It's the fundamentals that are going to work over and over and over again. And once you master the fundamentals, well, my friend, you will master a successful online business. So look, the first thing that you need to understand out the gate is that starting low ticket removes pressure. And there's so many people out here that are listening to all of these high ticket gurus and whatnot, and people are saying to start at a $2,000, $5,000, $15,000 offer or product or whatever it is. But I advise the complete opposite. So for one, the reason why you want to start with low ticket is because it's low risk. It's easy to sell, it's easy to create, and it has low emotional resistance. So most people have never even sold anything for $50. That's why they have a hard time trying to sell something for $5,000. You have no proof of concept that anybody will want to buy anything from you. You have no proof of concept that you can take your intellectual property and package it into a digital product and get somebody else to buy it. A $47 product, it builds that confidence. And when I say $47, I don't want you to get caught up on this price point, right? You can price whatever it is. The whole basis of this is focus on selling something low ticket before you focus on selling something high ticket. So this could be something for $27, $30, $22, $47, $50, $100, $200. Like, I consider all this stuff to be low ticket. The only reason why I said $47 is because for me personally, my very first digital product made a little over 900K with this price point, right? But the price point is irrelevant. It's the principle that matters. So if I keep on saying $47, I just want you to know that you don't have to stick to that number. Any of these numbers will work with what I'm about to break down with you. This is just the number that I initially rolled with. So that's why I have $47, because I'm only talking about stuff that I've done. And any piece of content that I make, I know it to be factual because I only talk about the stuff that I've done and do. All right, so look, it works this psychological trap. So a lot of people procrastinate when the stakes feel high. And a low ticket offer, it removes the perfectionism. It removes the imposter syndrome. It removes the delivery anxiety. And it removes this, which is the biggest. Am I good enough to charge this much? Those thoughts, they kill an entrepreneur. They kill a contentpreneur. You need to build the confidence in yourself that you can actually do this. And a quick way that you can get a result that you can do this is by selling something to somebody in a vehicle of a low ticket digital product. So this is the belief builder here. Get to your first $1,000 a month so you can prove to yourself that you can actually sell. I know a lot of stuff out here on the internet, including some of the content that I make. You know, all these super high income numbers, $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $1 million, 7 figures, all this type of stuff. Yeah, I'm not saying that stuff isn't attainable, but just realistically speaking, a lot of people are seeing these huge, grandiose numbers all over the internet, and they can't even see that yet, and they're so intimidated by all these big numbers that they see all their favorite creators talking about all over the internet that they don't even think of just getting to the first $1,000 a month. So they stay procrastinating and they stay in the analysis paralysis phase, doing all that extra learning that's really just procrastination in disguise. because they're like, oh, I have to learn all this stuff so I can go and have a $30,000 month, a six-figure month, $1 million business, and all this type of stuff. No, chill down, chill out, relax, calm down, breathe. Woosah, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. It's okay. Let's slow up your resting heart rate real quick. And once you realize that, okay, let me focus on the necessary things required to just get my first $1,000 month, stuff doesn't seem as scary anymore. So this is doable, especially at these price points. You don't need to get that many customers in order to have $1,000 month, right? At a $50 price point, all that you need to sell is 20 units. Then you got your $1,000. And once you break it down like this, then it doesn't get as scary anymore, because getting 20 people to buy something from you on the internet, this is extremely doable. You can do this. So now, once you have that proof of concept, once you get that confidence in yourself, well, then all it is just pushing the right buttons to scale it up to get to, $5,000, $10,000. A nice benchmark that I like to set for myself in anything that I do is $1,000 a day. Like, can I make $30,000 per month with this? Yeah, I can, but it all starts with this. So the way that you get started on having this first successful month for yourself is this. You want to create a starter offer, something that you can finish and create fast. So I highly recommend one of these 3 products. You're going to have an ebook, a course, and it doesn't have to be some type of big, grandiose course that takes 20 hours worth of content with 50 modules and all that stuff. It can be a mini course or a community. So here's the rule. Your first offer is not about being perfect. It's about getting paid while you learn. And I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing to get paid to practice. Imagine if you're getting paid while you're practicing becoming a better you. Imagine getting paid while you're practicing becoming a better creator. Imagine getting paid while you're practicing building a stronger, better micro niche personal brand. Imagine getting paid while you're practicing to build a better product, right? So many people think that their first product has to be perfect instead of getting something created quickly that they can get into the marketplace so they can stay in feedback loops with the marketplace. That's how you actually do make that so-called perfect product. You got to get feedback from people, and you can't get feedback from people. You can't get feedback from the market if you take forever to get something in their hands. So what you want to create is something called an MVP, a minimal viable product. So that's something that's going to be minimal enough to where you can create it quickly, but viable enough to get somebody a result. Then you want to stay in these feedback loops to whereas you can actually get feedback from your customers, whether that be testimonials or you reach out to those people and be like, hey, see that you just purchased this. Do you mind if we have a call? You wouldn't imagine like the amount of money that I've made simply from selling something to somebody and then reaching out to them and asking them to get on a Zoom call with me. So I know what to actually tinker with to make my product better. Instead of me just saying like, oh, this is what I think people need, I can now move with the confident energy that this is what I know people need. But I don't know that for a fact until I get whatever it is that I have into the hands of people. So look, most beginners, they don't fail from a bad strategy. They fail because they pick an offer and it takes them 45 days to build. And actually, for some people, it takes them 90 days, 6 months, a year and a half to build one digital product. No, speed is the game. So they take so long building and they're always constantly building that they never actually launch. So us over here, we ain't doing that. So we're building this starter offer or this MVP, minimal viable product that you can complete quickly and launch confidently and improve later. That's the great thing about being an entrepreneur. Lord willing, as long as we have breath in our lungs, we have another opportunity to get better over time. This is not the end all be all. So, like I said, one of three options. You have your ebook first. Option A, the $5 to $47 ebook. Remember, I said pricing of these products, it can vary. The whole basis of this is low ticket. So I say if you are going, stumbling over my words, if you are going to be selling an ebook, I highly recommend to have a price point for this anywhere between $5 to $47 or $50. Now, me myself, my very first digital product was an ebook, and I sold it for $47. And a lot of people, they think that that is a high price for an ebook. Well, guess what? It is. And do you not feel premium? It's the information and the transformation, which is most important, because people don't buy information, they buy transformation. It's the transformation that you're going to deliver somebody worth $50. If so, price it that way. But the reason why I was able to sell an ebook for more than what a New York Best Time author can sell for a big old physical, tangible book is because of the bonuses that I have with my ebook. So with anything that I sell, including my community that I'm offering right now, is credit at the top. I'm on a mission to make it credit at the top. I make sure that there is a disproportionate value proposition with anything that I'm offering. So the reason why I was able to price an ebook at a $47 price point is because of all the bonuses that I added to it to increase its perceived value. So not only did I offer an ebook, but with that ebook, I offered a mini course together. I actually bundled them up. And my mini course was actually better than people's big full courses. And the results that I was getting from those were better than a lot of people's $3,000 courses. And people were getting so much value for $47 that they were wowed. That's a little secret that Aston CL do. You know, I do that. Don't say I ain't never did nothing for me. That's a play that everybody in my community is running. But that's why I was able to sell a premium ebook at a premium point. I'm not saying that you have to add a mini course to it like I did, but add some type of free bonuses to raise the perceived value of something if you want to sell something at a higher or a more premium price point than the rest of the marketplace, all right? But with this ebook, the focus here is this. You want speed, you want clarity, and you want zero tech headaches. So you want to make this ebook solve one problem. That's one outcome, one simple step-by-step system or process. So this is not going to be a motivational essay. This is not going to be your life story. This is not going to be a novel. This is going to be a tool in written form. So rule of thumb here, if it's mostly text, make it thorough, not just like 10 or 12 pages of fluff. Add checklists, add examples, and clear, logical, do this next steps so it feels like a weapon and not just a blog post. Remember, people could care less to buy an ebook. What they want is a result. What they want is a transformation. So give them a clear guide to their transformation. That's how you make a lot of money with basically a PDF, because in actuality, that's all an ebook is. It's a PDF. So the goal is for somebody to finish reading your ebook and say, this was way too good for what I paid. And like I said, that's just a rule of thumb that I have in business, period. I want to have way disproportionate value propositions to whereas I'm giving so much value for the amount of money that somebody's spending for my product. It's easy to sell $10 bills for $1. Like if you keep that mentality in business and just think, how can you over deliver for somebody? You're going to stick out like a sore thumb within the marketplace when all of your competition is going to be thinking of themselves first instead of thinking how they can actually truly add value to somebody else and truly deliver them a result. Now, the second option, I said the mini course. And this has a lot of leverage here Because if you teach better by talking, this is your lane. And this is why I like to do stuff in video, because I like to speak and I'm confident in my speaking, and I get paid to practice speaking on YouTube. Like I said, it's cool to get paid to practice, right? But just in general, the number one skill that you should always be working on as a entrepreneur and as a contentpreneur is your communication skills. Because just in life in general, effective communicators, they always get paid more. Even outside of entrepreneurship, in the 9-to-5 world, it's all the hard workers that are getting paid the least. And it's the people that are able to effectively communicate, whether that just be their supervisors or a salesperson or the manager or the CEO, whatever it is. Just in life in general, effective communicators succeed more. And especially in entrepreneurship, business, online business, contentpreneurship, communication is going to be a key separating factor. So if you're good with talking, courses have a lot of leverage. And if you're not good with talking, so what? This can help you practice, right? I did not always feel comfortable on camera. That came with repetition. But always keep it simple. So 5 to 10 short videos. Remember, this is a mini course. I'll say if you want to push it to a few more, but we're just thinking of speed of not only consumption, but speed of result. So each video is going to answer one question. And the total runtime of this mini course is going to be anywhere between 30 to 90 minutes. Remember, we want fast info. We want fast results, right? We want to get that feedback loop, and we want to get that testimonial as quickly as possible. And we get that from getting somebody a result as quickly as possible. So your mini course should be this, something that shares the exact process. Basically copy it, implement it, get a result. Step by step, day by day, something does on a different kind of day. The people we know says something seems to make it better the second time around. Do, 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 do. Man, that takes me back. You remember that show? If so, man, you can kick it. You good in my books. But let's get back to this course. So this is not going to be something cinematic. This is not going to be something overproduced. This is just going to be something that's clear and concise. And always remember this, clarity beats cleverness every time. So this is not something where you want to be super creative. Clear to the point. We're thinking results here. And I already mentioned this before when I was talking about the ebook, but add bonuses to always raise the value of your product or the perceived value. And not only that, but if it's something that will actually help them get a result faster, go ahead and add that. So with this mini course, this could be something like a workbook. This could be something like templates alongside. So your product feels bigger without actually being harder to create. And with AI or ChatGPT, you can create like a template or a workbook to go along with this, like, in a couple minutes, right? Now, the third option, which is what I love and what I have dedicated my life to, a community. Now, the great thing about a community is that it's recurring income plus accountability. So if your strength is coaching, if you have a good energy, if you know that you keep yourself accountable, therefore you could be a guiding star to help keep other people accountable, then start a community. And so many people, they think that they have to have so many members to have a community. No, all that you need is a micro community. Plus, everything starts at zero. The way that you get to the big communities is by starting a micro community. So this is not some giant networking group. This is a focused room for one person with one problem. And you'll hear me repeatedly say things that are just a foundational principle of making money online in your business with digital products. They need to solve one problem for one person. That's it. It's the same thing for a community. So these people need to have basically the same problem that they need to get solved, So everybody is on the same common accord, and they're all headed towards the same goal. They're all climbing the same mountaintop, right? That's what you want to think with the community. Now, your community, it needs a clear promise. So, for example, in 30 days, you'll get blank, just as an example. Or what is the result? What is the reason? What's the transformation for somebody wanting to join your community, right? So let's say that somebody's in a personal development space. They may want to start a community that's just around mindset. Get your mindset better. Be a better you. Love yourself. Be productive. But what is the result behind that, right? So, for example, there's somebody that I know of that has a very successful community in the manifestation realm. But they're not just talking about manifestation. They're talking about manifestation in a business niche, right? If somebody else was in that same niche, they could be talking about manifestation as far as a relationship aspect. Typically, everything in business, and if you can just think about everything that you buy, for the most part, everything typically comes down to three things. Well, really four, but you should only be focused on positioning something around these three. So you have health, you have wealth, and you have relationships. These are the big three. I don't know what's going on with my pen right now. These are the big three. And I said four because the fourth one is entertainment. But I say not to focus on entertainment at all because it's tough to make money in the entertainment business. And you got to do a lot of shucking and jiving and goofy stuff and some stuff that you probably don't want to do most of the time. It's hard to make money in entertainment. But the big three are this: health, wealth, and relationships. So with this community, a good structure that I recommend is to have some type of community event at least once a week, maybe twice a week. Not maybe twice a week, maybe every other week, but I suggest at least once a week. Now, this could be some type of call. This could be some type of challenge or some type of feedback thread. But a lot of people, they think that a community is just going to be a portal where they can just put their courses or their digital products and whatnot. And then they're like, okay, this is a community. Here's all my stuff. No, think of the word community. So it needs to be something that can bring people together. That's why I highly advise it once a week or maybe every other week. But I really, really highly advise at least once a week to have some type of event that brings people together. This could be a call. This could be a Q&A call, coaching call. You could start some type of challenge to where it's everybody in the community is doing something on all of these days, this challenge that you've set out, and then you all get together and collectively talk about your progress on this certain challenge or whatnot. But some type of event that brings the community get together. And then you want to have a simple onboarding post or some type of simple video that they can consume that lets them know to start here or how your community works and whatnot. So this works because people, they don't just pay for info anymore. They pay for structure, they pay for momentum, they pay for proximity, and they pay for accountability. And most importantly, they pay for transformation. So pick the format that can create you, or pick the format that you can create the fastest with the highest quality. Because the win is not having a product. The win is launching. The win is making your first sale. The win is building confidence. The win is learning what people actually buy. And once you do that, you can always raise your price later, right? So many people, they think that whatever it is that they get started, whether it be the product or the price point, like that's going to last forever. I'm like, nah, that's just today. You can always raise your prices, and it's actually always easier to raise your prices, and you should raise your prices over time. It's hard to have a high price and bring it down. It's easy to have a lower price and raise the price over time. Now, something else that you can use, utilize AI. Utilize something like ChatGPT to generate these product ideas. So pick a niche, ask for ideas, generate tools. And you don't need to be creative. You need to execute. Don't get caught in idea paralysis. And when I say to use ChatGPT or whatever LLM that you want to use, whether it be Claude or whatever it is, they all basically work the same. Don't get caught up on what tool to actually use. And if you see somebody on the internet saying that this is the best one, they're just saying that for engagement. Just pick something. They all basically work the same, especially for ideation and stuff with written word. If you're getting into code and software generation and images and video, yeah, then it gets different. But as far as just text and words and ideas, they're all pretty much the same. But don't use this stuff to create the product. You need to use your AI, your actual intelligence, to make a good product with the artificial intelligence. So many people are putting out all these crap, sloppy, weak-ass digital products. Just having ChatGPT create them. They'll create a digital product in 30 seconds. Hey, write the ebook about this. And then it makes the ebook, and then they wonder why it's not getting any sales. Because it sucks. This stuff needs to come from you, but you can get ideas from ChatGPT. So I'll just give you an example in real time. So let's just open up my chat real quick. All right, so check this. I can just say this. Give me an idea for a digital product that I could create for yoga instructors that are vibrating on a certain frequency to where they are very spiritual people that would help them acquire more clients. Because these yoga instructors, they love what they do, but they struggle with getting clients to actually be able to get paid for the life that they love and their passion. So give me 3 digital product ideas that I could create from this. And I'm thinking maybe something like an ebook or a mini course or a community. Give me some ideas on what I could build around. Let's see what he comes up with. An ebook idea right here, out the gate. Aligned Client, the Spiritual Yoga Instructor's Guide to Attracting Soul-Aligned Students Without Feeling Salesy. I like that. It gives you the core promise here, the mini course. Sacred Client Flow, a 7-day system to fill your yoga sessions with aligned students. The third one, a community. The Aligned Yoga Collective, a spiritual business community for yoga instructors ready to get paid doing what they love. See, like, I'm just giving you an example real quick. Like, this is how I talk to chat to get ideas, right? But I don't just use the stuff that they say. It inspires my actual intelligence to get sparking to whereas then I can have a back and forth with it and create something that is actually from me, not something that the AI is just spitting. So don't lose sight of your AI, your actual intelligence in this artificial intelligence era that we're moving into. And the people that are able to use their AI and craft a useful tool by using this AI as a tool are always going to be the winners. And let me tell my chat that I'm not a yoga instructor because I don't want it to be giving me bad advice because my chat knows me pretty well. We got a good relationship here. So let me just say this real quick. Hey, I'm just using this for a YouTube video that I'm currently recording. So don't think that I'm a yoga teacher. I'm just giving people an example. All right. All right. Yeah. I just wanted to tell chat because I don't want its memory thinking that I'm a yoga teacher right now. Even though I have been looking up yoga because I think that's something that I'm going to take up because I want to be more limber, you know? Won't be able to stretch. I'm I'm kind of stiff, and I don't want to get stiff in the hips, you know. But look, another thing that people really, really obsess over and spend too much time in the getting ready phase is packaging. So look, I'm not saying that packaging doesn't matter, because it does matter, but not how you think. So everybody thinks that packaging means to make whatever their product is look really fancy. That's not what it is. That's not what actually moves sales, especially if you're building from a platform like YouTube, which I highly, highly recommend, because YouTube is the #1 trust building platform, period. People already trust you before they even see the checkout page. So they've already watched 15 minutes of you, 30 minutes of you, hours of your content. They've already heard your philosophy. They already know your energy. They get a good sense of your personality. And you're not selling to strangers scrolling an ad. You're selling to warm traffic. So instead of obsessing over mock-ups, instead of obsessing over titles, instead of obsessing over all these mock-ups on landing pages and what color the buttons are and hero statements and all this type of stuff, obsess over clarity. So when you hear a lot of advice on how stuff should look aesthetically, most of that advice is coming from people that are running paid advertising to a cold audience. And when you're running paid ads to people that are simply just scrolling and clicking skip on ads every single day nonstop, just use this video as an example. You probably skipped through all the ads already. They have to make the stuff look very fancy because they're selling to people that have no clue who they are. Versus if you're focused on YouTube, which is the #1 trust building platform, period, because people get to spend actual time with you. And there's been a stat by Google that said that people need to spend around 7 hours with somebody in order to make a purchasing decision nowadays. I don't know how true that is or not, but Google has a lot more data than I have, so they probably know what they're talking about. Where else could somebody spend that much time with you? YouTube. Once you have a catalog of content, they could literally get that done. Like, people have told me they've got that done in a day. People have watched hours upon hours upon hours of my content in a day or a weekend, a couple days, right? Like, people can get through that once you have a catalog of content very quickly, within a day, a couple days, or a week. And you build the know, like, and trust factor and win the trust economy. So people buy things from people that they know, like, and trust. That's why I really highly recommend YouTube. But your product page, it doesn't have to look fancy, but what it does need is a clear promise with a clear outcome, and let it be known who it's for and what the transformation is. So you don't need to have some 3D spinning laptop graphic with all the stuff that's included in your stuff if you're bidding with trust. Now, you will need that if you're just trying to run some ads or something like that. But if your positioning is strong, your visuals, they simply just support it. If your positioning is weak, no mock-up in the world will save it. So here's the real rule. If somebody can't explain your offer in one sentence after watching your video, then your packaging is broken. Not because the mock-up's bad, but because your message is fuzzy. And on YouTube, the #1 trust building platform, message beats mock-up every single time, 10 times out of 10. And so many people, they ask me, especially a lot of these guys that I know that spend so much money on ads, they're like, oh man, your sales page, man, how do you get this to work? Because I tried it. Like, you know, somebody comes to mind last week, we were having dinner, and he was like, bro, that conversation you told me about the landing page, bro, the sales page, I tried it, and then I looked at yours, and I really tried to steal your whole steez, and I did what you do. Man, I lost so much money with it. My stuff's not converting. I'm like, yeah, because you're running ads to cold traffic, to whereas I'm building trust and building a strong personal brand, and I'm only making my offer to my people, right? The only people that would join my community are people that most likely have spent the considerable amount of time with me through my content. I'm like, yeah, some people, first time seeing me, oh, they got to join. They see the value in it immediately. But I'm like, other time, I've created a YouTube system for myself, and the way that I've crafted my system, I have something that I call the binge and buy effect, and it just works. It works if you spend the time to work it, and it's the best long term also. And then instead of paying for ads, I get paid from YouTube to build my income, impact, and influence. It's a beautiful thing. But speaking of ads, let's get to scaling, right? And scaling simply just means traffic. And this is most creators' problem. They always think that they have to have a new product or a new sales page or some new software that they sell from or some new sales copy. They're always tinkering with the wrong stuff when they really need traffic. And traffic basically comes down to two methods. So you have your rented traffic, which is going to be those ads like I talked about. Or even though this may not technically be defined by this in some people's definitions, some marketers' definitions, but I consider short form platform and these algorithm dependent burst platforms as rented spaces. That's why me personally, I don't make any short form content, period. I highly suggest you don't either. I haven't made any short form piece of content since 2023. And I decided to build my YouTube intentionally during that point. Also, I started to put together a strategy, and I started my strategy January 30th of 2024 with no YouTube audience. Back then, I had over 120,000 Instagram followers and about 14 or 15,000 TikTok followers. Left them both cold. Actually deleted everything off my page too. There's nothing there. There's nothing on my TikTok, and I think, I could be wrong, but I think on my Instagram, there's only a note that my daddy wrote me in 1999 when I was a little kid and couldn't understand it, and a picture of me and Nipsey Hussle. I think those might be the only things on my Instagram, right? I deleted everything too, because I'm like, I'm going to make YouTube work because I know it's the best option in order for me to build a long-term business, in order for me to build my income, impact, and influence for years to come. I'm like, I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to burn the ships. You know, the analogy of burn the ships, if you're going to battle, you come to battle on the ships and you burn the ships. The only way that you can go home is if you win. That's the mentality that I went into YouTube with. I made a decision. I drew a line in the sand, and once I draw a line in the sand, there's no going back and forth with myself. That's what I do, and I do it until it's done. Right? But with rented traffic, there's pros and cons to everything. So the pros is that you get faster feedback. And when I say faster feedback, is that especially with something like a paid ad or something like that, you can get in front of somebody immediately because you're paying for the impression. If you're not familiar with what an impression is simply just an eyeball, not a view, but an eyeball. So every time you see an ad and you click through it or scroll past it, that's an impression. So you can get guaranteed impressions because you're paying just to get put in front of people. So with that, you can do immediate testing, and you may be able to get quicker validation. And testing is a big thing in ads that a lot of people don't realize. They think that they can just pay for an ad and make some money. And as somebody who has some experience in paid advertising, the most money that I've spent on ads in a single month is a little over $100,000 in a month. With ads, there's constant testing of creatives. And people think that they can just run ads because they want to avoid making content, and they don't even realize that when you're running ads, most of the time you're making more content than you would on making organic content anyways. When I was running ads, I would constantly have to be testing new ad creatives, and with each new creative that I tested, I would make like 6 to, what was the number? I would make like 10 to 20 hooks. And then for the body of the ad, I would make like maybe 4 to 6 or 4 to 8 bodies. And then for the end, the call to action, I would make like 4 to 6 call to actions. And then I would always be split, mixing them up. And for that one, I would make like 10 different ads. for the top of funnel audience, and I will make like 5 to 6 ads for the middle funnel audience, and then I will make like 2 to 4 ads for the bottom of funnel audience, all with that mixture of different hooks with different bodies with different call to action. It was exhausting. Outside of that, I'm posting 3 to 5 times per day on social media and posting stories and going live. And I had an overnight strategy where I would post 5 times overnight and then delete those posts before 6 a.m. It was freaking exhausting. I'm so glad for YouTube. It's peaceful over here. But the cons are that for ads, it costs money. And they stop working when you stop paying. And there's no long-term compounding effect. So own traffic, which is what I'm a big fan of. That's why I say long-form YouTube or something that you own, right? We don't technically own YouTube, right? But it is long-form, long-term evergreen traffic, because once you get certain videos to rank, yeah, there's search rank. You can rank in search, and you can also rank on the homepage. But all that traffic that you can be getting for years, you want to send that stuff to something that you own. So that's why I like to tie YouTube in with owned media. And you want to drive it to something like an email list or a community, or like I said, with ranking with search content, you can rank in SEO-based content, search-based content, because YouTube is the second biggest search engine on the planet. Think about it. You use that search bar on YouTube quite frequently, don't you? Well, you can rank in search. On a month-to-month basis, the top videos that have been getting me the right views, the right leads, and the right sales for years now are videos that are ranking in search. That's not possible with short-form social media, and that's not possible with ads. Ads burn out so quickly. That's why if you do find something that works, that's such a short window when it works. And it's called ad fatigue. It fatigues very quickly, and then you have to go through the whole testing phase again. So glad for YouTube. But the pros of own traffic is that it compounds over time. It builds your authority, and it warms up buyers before the checkout, and it has higher long-term margins. Now, the cons of it, which so many people are afraid of this stuff, is that it might initially be slow in the beginning. And that's might. There's something that's called beginner's luck. That's a real thing. And so many beginners don't get to experience the beginner's luck because they don't try. And the great thing, I might make a video about this now I'm thinking about it. The great thing about beginner's luck, or the reason why it exists, is because you're purely moving off of instincts. And I truly believe that your instincts come from a higher realm, right? They come from a higher place. And that's why a lot of times people that don't really know all the rules to the game can win at the game, because they're just moving off of God-given instincts, right? But outside of that, stuff that has a slower build typically has a longer runway. And usually stuff that is easy in the beginning gets hard later. And stuff that is hard in the beginning gets easy later. So pick your hard, because it's inevitable. You have to go through the hard. That's what she said. But pick your hard. That's what she said again. And I would much rather have my hard in the beginning stages than have stuff get harder for me later on down the road. And this requires consistency. And so many people really aren't taking their businesses seriously. They're not taking their content seriously. They're not taking their dreams, their goals, their aspirations seriously. Naturally, they're not taking their life seriously. And they're always looking for something to where they don't have to be consistent at it. But they don't realize that anything that they found any type of success in, they only found it through consistency. But they think that they can be successful in their online business and avoid being consistent. No, it don't work like that. And these people too, I'm like, man, you consistently show up to your job for something that you claim that you hate for at least 40 hours a week, but you can't consistently show up for yourself, for what it is that you claim that you want to do. It's kind of backwards when you think about it. But why this matters for contentpreneurs is this. A low ticket product with ads is a funnel, but a low ticket product with a YouTube system, you turn it into an ecosystem. And at the end of this video, I'll link a step-by-step system that you can create for yourself. And system is an acronym, SYSTEM, stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. So whereas you create this system around your YouTube, you do the work once, the system works for you every single day and you get your time back. And that's how you make more while working less. I'll link this at the end of this video. But with YouTube, the video sells, the content pre-frames, and your authority reduces the resistance, and your call to action moves warm traffic. It's way different making an offer to genuinely help somebody that is familiar with you and that know, likes, and trusts you than to trying to sell something to somebody that doesn't know that you exist. You turn into one of those, I like to call them mall kioskers. You ever been to the mall and get annoyed by that person in the middle of the mall that's trying to spray something on you or clean one of your shoes? Why do you get annoyed from them? Because you have no clue who they are. But where do you walk past them and then go to spend your money happily? To the stores, businesses, or establishments that you already know, like, and trust. It's the same thing online. But with this, you're not convincing strangers. You're just activating believers. And this is what I call scaling the smart way. So instead of running ads and hoping for a 1% conversion, which is like a great target if you're running ads, you can focus on creating searchable content. You can focus on solving real problems. You can build trusted skill. You can insert your offer naturally. That's why I tell people, most people that can't sell their digital products, it's because they're trying to sell their digital products. I don't try to sell nothing. All that I do is just genuinely add value to people. And then I may offer them help as a logical next best step. That's how you want to position your stuff. Don't try to sell stuff to people. Genuinely add value to people. And then once you have your product, just position your product as the logical next best step. And then they'll buy it because it makes sense and because they want to. So another thing also, capture your email address. Remember, we want to own the customer data, right? We want to build on our own land, not on rented property. And then you ascend through value. So if you do want to have other offers available, you want to offer those on the back end to people that have already decided to make a purchasing decision, because it's always going to be easier to sell something to somebody that has already bought from you than to acquire a new customer. So this is where order bumps, upsells, downsells, and cross sales can come in. It's about maximizing your lifetime value, right? Lifetime value of your customer. So most people think that the money on a low ticket digital product is by selling as many of them as possible. That's not the case. The real money with a low ticket digital product is the back end, right? It's getting those same people to spend more money. And that's how you actually make more money online in your business without getting more customers. People are always focusing on getting more instead of thinking of adding more value to the same person. All right. But this is the compounding effect. Like I said, one YouTube video, it can sell for literal years. Go look at your favorite creators' YouTube pages. For the most part, there's always a exception to the rule. But typically the rule, you'll see that your favorite creators, their most viewed videos is stuff from years ago. And then you'll see that those most viewed videos are still getting multiple views per hour, on the hour, every hour, years later. It's insane. But one email also can sell you multiple offers once you focus on your back end and having these order bumps and upsells and cross sales and whatnot to increase your LTV. You can offer these on the back end. Or if you do want to create a whole separate suite of digital products down the line, you now have a strong email list of buyers. Everybody wants to build their email list, right? But nobody talks about how most people that sign up for all these freebies on email lists never buy anything. And most people that are on all these freebie email lists, they join this person's free challenge and sign up for this free masterclass and this free webinar and download this free checklist and this free template. Download free. They typically never buy anything, like a high majority of them. So whereas if you have an email list full of low ticket digital product buyers, an email list with fewer people would be way more valuable than an email list with way more contacts, but of people that haven't ever bought anything. And then also, one community member can mean recurring income. I'm a big fan of community. All that you really need to have a solid community, I'll say 3 to 5 people. That's all that you really need to have a core foundation to build off of. Now, the real scaling rule is this. If your traffic doesn't compound, then you're rebuilding your income each and every single month, right? So many people are focused on reaching new all-time highs, where I highly recommend that you start to think of reaching new higher lows, if that makes sense. So I've been through things in the past in my business to where my income literally went to zero overnight. That hurt. But even outside of that, I don't care how much money you make, unless you have recurring income coming in. The next month or the first of the month, you're starting off at zero. So everybody's doing this. All right. Instead of focusing on raising the floor and doing this. Now I got a new low. Now I got a new low. Now I got a new low. That's the focus and that's the goal right there. You want to raise the floor instead of raising the bar. So, and the same thing with your traffic. That's why I like YouTube. Because all of your old work, all of your old digital assets are still getting views the next month. Majority of your views, if you're doing it the right way, is going to be from your older content. And all of your new content is just going to bring a new audience to your older stuff as well. And that's how you get that binge and buy effect that I was talking about. But if your traffic doesn't compound, then your revenue, if your traffic does compound, then your revenue, it stacks, like I said over here, raising the floor. Now, here's the big part that nobody's really focused on. Everybody's focused on the wrong numbers. Everybody's focused on the vanity metrics. How many views did I get? How many subscribers do I have? How many followers did I get? How many likes did I get? How many comments did I get? None of that stuff matters. What matters is the numbers that make the money. And you'll find out once you really get in this game, people that are so popular, they're not making the money because they're focused on being content creators instead of contentpreneurs. So just know this, in the digital marketing world, a 1 to 2% conversion rate is normal. I found it to be a little higher off of YouTube because you're only selling to people that, know, like, and trust you. I found a 3 to 6% is really strong. So a lot of people are panicking out here and they're making all these changes that they really don't need to make because they're not getting any sales. And then they're looking at their view count and stuff like that when they're only looking at view count. So don't panic at low conversions unless traffic is high and sales are zero. So you need to understand basic marketing math. And this is the game. This is what makes money. Traffic times conversion times average order value equals your revenue. That's all that you need to be focused on. So if, for instance, they'll be saying like, oh, their stuff doesn't work. And then they go and they create a new digital product. And I'm like, you don't even know that the stuff isn't working because you haven't even tracked your proper KPIs. And KPI stands for Key Performance Indicator. That is a terrible K. You deserve better than that. It stands for Key Performance Indicator. That's still a bad K, but it's a little better. And I said you deserve better. That's better. So somebody will tell me that their stuff doesn't work or that they have a bad offer. I'm like, okay, you haven't even gotten 100 people to your sales page. They may have gotten like 57 people to their sales page. I'm like, you haven't even stuck with it long enough to know if you have a sales page, because like I said, a 1 to 2% conversion is normal. So if they have 52 people, they haven't even gotten in front of the 100 people yet to get the one sale. All right, and like I said, with a platform like YouTube, you typically have stronger conversion rates, whether it be directly to an offer or to something that's building your email list. So a lot of this stuff it's just simple consistency and having what I like to call stick-to-itiveness, right? You got to be able to stick with stuff. And so many people are quitting before they actually have any data to make a pivot. And then they can never get the compounding effect because they're always moving and pivoting and relaunching. It's really pivoting. That's what people love to say. Oh, I'm making a pivot. No, you quitting. Stick with something long enough to see results, and then you'll start to get the results just like all that you see on the screen right now. And if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know with digital products, go ahead and click the link down in the description and join It's Credit at the Top community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But stick with it and create a system around your YouTube with the digital product. It's the vehicle for not only for you to profit, but more importantly, for your customer to get a real result. And that's how you make more money. So go ahead and check out this video right here about how you can create that YouTube system for yourself, saving yourself time, energy, and money. It's Credit at the Top.